Hello and welcome. Let's look at IELTS listening test. Augustine Emeka Ikene. Okay. Uh, the listening test is going to test your ability to comprehend or understand English when you hear English. You're going to be able to listen to somebody speak English and be able to, from what you understand, answer some questions. So this test is going to last for 30 minutes. So it's going to last for 30 minutes. And it's the same for academic and general. Okay, so this test is actually the same for academic and general. So this is the format for both of them. Okay, now section 1 is going to be consisting of a conversation between two people in an everyday social context. So you're going to see two people talk about accommodation. One is going to call the other person and ask the person about accommodation, the rooms that are available, how comfortable they are, and stuff like that. Okay, so and you're going to hear a variety of voices and native speaker accent. So what you're going to be hearing in your or what you're going to hear in your listening test is going to be the same way that a white man would speak. So it's good you expose yourself to as many um let's say take time to watch CNN so that you hear white people speak, because that is the kind of listening that you're going to be doing. So please make sure that you study enough so that you can be able to understand when a white man is speaking to you. Because definitely when you go to study abroad, you're going to have people, both people that are using native accent, teach you. So you should be able to understand what you hear. Okay, so let's go forward. So section 1 is going to be about a conversation between two people in an everyday social context. They can discuss things concerning accommodation. Now, section 2 is going to be a monologue. A monologue is when one person talks, okay? So, a monologue in an everyday social context. So, it's going to also be a talk about local facilities or about arrangements for meal during a conference. Now, section 3 is going to be a long conversation between up to 4 people in an educational or training context. Example is a university tutor and student discussing an assignment or a group of people planning a project. Whereas section 4 is going to be a talk. An example of a talk is a university lecture. Okay, so that's the format that you're going to be having your listening test. So it's going to come in this format, having 4 sections. And these 4 sections are going to be having the things that I just said now. So, what are the tips and strategies that you're supposed to use in acing a listening test IELTS exam? So, how do you go about tackling your exam? Now, number 1 is that you have to read the questions for a section carefully before the recording starts. So, you see, the recording is where you're going to hear what you're supposed to understand and answer the questions. So, it's always good before you start playing the recording, read the questions first so that when you're playing the recording now, you know what you're expecting to decipher and use in answering. If you they don't play the recording like more than one times, more than once, so it's only played once, so you're supposed to be able to understand it when it is playing. So the easiest way for you to understand and answer the question would be to, before the recording starts playing, read the questions so that you know the areas you're supposed to pay attention to. So read the questions for a section carefully before the recording starts, and you do this at the beginning of each section. So once you get to the beginning of each section, read the question before the recording starts playing so that you know what you're aiming at picking up from the recording. Now, this will help you to follow the recording and identify the answers. Number 2, look ahead and read the questions for the next section after completing a section. Immediately you finish a section, don't go about thinking about how you did, whether you did well or not. just go straight to reading the question for the next section before the recording. So don't bother about the past one that you've done, whether you did so well or not. Focus on the incoming section. You will sometimes have a list of options to choose from as answers. The possible answers may be listed in alphabetical order and not necessarily in the order you will hear them. So it's not necessary that the first paragraph that you hear from what you're listening to or the first conversation should give you the first answer. So most times, sometimes you have to have the answer choices written in alphabetical order and not written in the order in which you hear the recording. Okay. Note the word limit. Very, very important. You need to know the word limit. If there is an instruction to write not more than 2 words, writing more than 2 words will mean that you will receive no marks at all for your answer, even if some of your answers are correct. So once they tell you don't write more than 2 words, please stick to the instruction. Don't go about writing more than 2 words because you're not going to get scored for that. Now, listen for keywords or synonyms from the question to help you identify the answers. So you mustn't see exactly what you heard from the recording. So you can see in the question synonym of what is heard from the recording. So take note. So whenever you see a synonym, something that is similar, so you should be able to also pick out the answer. Example, in the recording you might hear something like she likes going to the gym and playing tennis. Whereas on your answer sheet on your screen, if you're using the computer delivered IELTS, it could appear as she is an active person. So an active person, somebody that goes to gym and plays tennis, is said to be an active person. So take note of that, okay? So let's look at an actual problem and see how we can go about it. So this is what I said before, that first of all, you're supposed to read the question before you go to the recording, then you come back having noted what is on the recording from what you saw on the question first. So this is the sample question. You can see Packham Shipping Agency is the customer quotation form. So example of how you go about it is country of destination. On the line you put Kenya. So this is a sample of form completion form of question. Okay, there are many different types of question, but this is form completion. Okay, I think it's better we look at the question type. So you're going to be seeing something like multiple choice question type, matching information, plan, map, diagram, labeling, equipment. You're also going to see form completion, which is what we are doing now. You can also see note completion, table completion, flow chart, summary completion, or short answer question. So these are the various kinds of reading test question types. Okay, so let's look at form completion type now. So we're going to quickly scan through the questions before we play and then we'll answer. So we can see now that question 1 is saying name Jacob what. So you see we are looking for the last name of Jacob. So when we start playing, make sure you take note of what we're looking for, the last name of Jacob. Address to be collected from Dash College, Downlands Road. So we're looking Bristol's. We are looking for the address number. So that's what you should pay attention to when listening. Postcode. So we also pay attention for what the postcode is. So continuation. This is the size of the container. So this is how long it is, 1.5 meter length. This is how wide it is. And this is how high it is, the height, the width. So you should take note. So you'll be listening for these two, the width and the height. Then contents, what are contained inside the box, clothes and 2 other things. So we should take note of that. Total estimated value for the shipment of these, we should also take note of that. Okay, so let's play these and try to get the answers to those. Okay, so I'm gonna play it now.
You will hear a telephone conversation between a customer and an agent at a company which ships large boxes overseas.
So let's listen now. So while you're listening, you can be looking at the questions and be picking out the answers. So Jacob who? Let's see Jacob who.
You will hear a telephone conversation between a customer and an agent at a company which ships large boxes overseas.
Good morning. Packham's shipping agents. Can I help you?
Oh, yes. I'm ringing to make inquiries about sending a large box, a container, back home to Kenya from the UK.
Yes, of course. Would you like me to try and find some quotations for you?
Yes, that'd be great. Thank you.
Well, first of all, I need a few details from you.
Fine.
Can I take your name?
It's Jacob Mkere.
Can you spell your surname, please?
Yes, it's Mkere.
Is that M for mother?
Yes.
Thank you. And you say that you will be sending the box to Kenya.
That's right.
And where would you like the box picked up from?
From college, if possible.
Yes, of course. I'll take down the address now.
It's Westall College.
Is that Westall?
Yes, college.
Westall College. And where's that?
It's Downlands Road in Bristol.
Oh, yes, I know it. And the postcode?
It's BS8 9PU.
Right. And I need to know the size.
Yes, I've measured it carefully and it's 1.5 metres long,
Right.
0.75 metres wide,
Okay.
and it's 0.5 metres high or deep.
Great. So I'll calculate the volume in a moment and get some quotes for that. But first, can you tell me, very generally, what will be in the box?
Yes, there's mostly clothes,
Okay.
and there's some books.
Okay, good. Anything else?
Yes, there's also some toys.
Okay, and what is the total value, do you think, of the contents?
Well, the main costs are the clothes and the books. They'll be about £1,500. But then the toys are about another 200. So I put down £1,700.
Okay, so you can see from the recording all the answers are there. So please, I want you to quickly try to answer this. And also drop in the comment section if you're not able to hear the recording very well. I can read out the transcripts for you so that you can pick out the answers. So please try and answer this. So number one is supposed to be here. So Jacob who and Dash College Downlands Road, Bristol. So let's check. Number one, from what we hear, is Mkere, and the address is Westall, and the postcode is BS9PU. And the various dimensions that we are asked are 0.75 meters and 0.5 meters for the height. So 0.75 is for the width, and for the height is 0.5. You can see these ones that are in the bracket, they simply mean that you can actually put them or you omit them, but you still get the right answer. Whereas the ones that are you have forward slash simply means that you can write it in this way. You can actually call 0.75 3/4 meter or 3/4 in words. So you always get them provided you write the right thing. Then under the contents you have books and you have toys. So you can see some books, some toys. So it shouldn't be more than, you have to check the word limit. So if instead of writing some books you write just books, you'll still get the right answer. Then total estimate is 1,700. Okay, very important, because pounds is already in the answer, so you don't have to write pounds again. You can see there is pounds already here. So you just simply say 1,700. Now, words in brackets are optional. They are correct but not necessary. Alternative answers are separated by a slash. That's what I just explained. So this is a typical listening test for the question type form completion. Okay, so you're supposed to be able to look at the question first. That's the first thing you do, so that you know what you're expected to take note of. Then immediately after that, you play the recording. The recording is played to you. I actually played it because I'm the person. We are just practicing, okay? So these are the various question types. In subsequent classes, we're going to be looking at other uh, types. This is the one we looked at, form completion. So there is also summary completion, there is flowchart completion, there is table completion, there is note completion, there is multiple choice, matching information, plan, map, diagram, labeling, where you can have an equipment. You're supposed to label the equipment from what you hear from the recording. So you have to listen to the recording first, then pick out these points and put. And like I said, because the recording is not going to be played over and over for you, it's always good you look at the question first. Look at the question and identify what you're supposed to listen for. So you know now that you're listening for Jacob. What is the surname of Jacob? So immediately you're getting it, you're writing it down, or you're taking it as the answer. Address from where it will be collected. You have to make a note of it immediately before you now put them in. Okay. So let's look at the question first before you take the listening. That is very, very important. Please, if you like this our video, hit the subscribe button and give us thumbs up and like, share it so that your friends can see them. Thank you. God bless you.